Hello everyone. I'm Summer Burton from Literacy Link South Central, and today I'm pleased to be sharing an overview of the results of the 2017 EmployerOne Survey for the London Economic Region, which includes Elgin, Middlesex, and Oxford counties. EmployerOne is an annual survey that collects local information about human resource needs and practices across much of Ontario. It's voluntarily completed by employers each January, and the results are compiled and used to inform and assist governmental and community organizations in their workforce planning efforts. The data we'll review today was gathered by the Elgin Middlesex Oxford Workforce Planning and Development Board in January of 2017. Today's webinar is being brought to you by your local Employment Planning Council, one of 8 LEPCs working across the province of Ontario to strengthen the connection between local labour market demands and the skills supplied by job seekers. Funded by the Government of Canada and the Government of Ontario, our local Employment Planning Council covers the London Economic Region, including the counties of Middlesex, Oxford, and Elgin. Throughout this short webinar, we'll review just a few of the findings from this year's survey. We'll be discussing not only the survey results, but asking some reflection questions about how we, as service providers and educators throughout the London Economic Region, can respond to the information shared by employers. We hope that by profiling some key pieces of information during this webinar, we'll entice you to explore the survey report, which can be found on the Work Trends website shown on your screen, further. The detailed findings in the report might support what you already know, or they might surprise you. Let's consider the value of employer feedback, which is a critical piece of the labor market information puzzle. Through this feedback, employers clearly define the demand side of the local workforce. Understanding the needs and expectations of employers throughout the London Economic Region then helps us to guide and provide resources for the supply side of the workforce, including the design of curriculum and the creation of skills training opportunities for job seekers. Having insight into the needs of local employers helps us to work together to design programs and services that are relevant and that ultimately help job seekers successfully meet employer demands. First, let's get to know who the survey respondents were to provide some context for their answers. In 2017, more employers participated in this survey than ever before, and by the end of the survey period, there were 368 usable surveys to pull data from, including 25 from St. Thomas, 35 from Elgin County, 103 from the City of London, 64 from Middlesex County, and 139 from Oxford County. Survey respondents represented a wide range of sectors. The top 3 participating sectors were manufacturing, services, and retail. But in this slide, you can see that employers from agriculture to healthcare to food services were also represented, 19 sectors in all. The size of each business was measured by their number of employees. The EmployerOne survey was answered largely by small companies, which are defined as having between 5 and 99 employees. The second grouping of respondents represent micro businesses, those with between 1 and 4 employees. So when combining these two audiences together, we know that 84% of this year's EmployerOne survey respondents represent businesses that have fewer than 100 employees. Now, let's explore some of the messages that employers sent us through their survey responses. Employers were asked what competencies or basic abilities they require their employees to have. The listing you see here will come as no surprise, especially to those who follow labor market information. We see customer service, teamwork, and work ethic as the top 3 competencies, with dependability, self-motivation, and communication following close behind. The competencies profiled here are the soft skills. The focus is not what employees do, but how they do it. When comparing the top competencies required in 2017 to those identified in 2016, which are seen in the lower right-hand side of your screen, we see the need for soft skills is consistent. Employers can often train their staff on workplace-specific knowledge and skills, but really value those job seekers who come to the table with those critical soft skills already in place. Here, you see the top 3 hard-to-fill positions that were identified by employers across the London economic region in 2017. It's interesting to note that customer service skills were identified as the top required competency on the previous slide. Now we see that customer service is the #1 hard-to-fill position. As service providers preparing people for the needs of our local job market, we're receiving a clear message that customer service skills need to be part of our discussions and programming. Next, we'll look at where employers are finding the talent they hire. Word of mouth remains the main recruitment method year over year, which means that to find work successfully, job seekers need the good communication skills required for face-to-face networking. With the remaining top 5 recruitment methods all involving the Internet, good computer skills and comfort with the Internet also clearly play a key role in finding available jobs. Looking at the 2016 survey results shown to the right of the screen, you'll see that the recruitment methods haven't changed much in the last year, with the exception of social media making its first appearance as one of the top 5 recruitment methods. We're already wondering what new online sources will appear in this list for 2018. Employers also let us know about their plans to hire in the year ahead. Here, you'll see a snapshot of what employment contracts could look like in the coming year. This chart compares 2016, which is in green, to 2017 in blue. If the EmployerOne Survey respondents are representative of other employers in the London economic region, we can anticipate that many jobs are shifting from full-time opportunities to seasonal work. The full report goes into more detail about the sectors in which these positions are likely to be shifting. Again, we've touched on only a few of the findings revealed through the 2017 EmployerOne survey. But even during this brief review, we see opportunities for us, as service providers, to anticipate workforce challenges and create a corresponding community response. One area of focus is helping to build workplace competencies. We read that the #1 category in the hard-to-fill positions was customer service and delivery, and yet this was the #1 competency that employers require of their staff. We can make the connection that our local workforce may be lacking in the customer service skills that employers value so highly. Consider your local area. What services in your community help to build these skills? What programs could be developed to further enhance job seekers' soft skills, such as teamwork and work ethic? And whose role is it to provide that programming? If employers are largely using word of mouth to recruit workers, how can we build networking skills in job seekers so that they can make a successful connection with an employer who's hiring? Who is helping job seekers learn how to engage with other people appropriately and communicate with confidence? And with the impact of the Internet, is there locally available programming to help job seekers build their computer and now social media skills they need to tap into these next most popular recruitment methods? When we see that local employment opportunities may be shifting from full-time work to more seasonal work, how can we respond? Both we and job seekers need to understand the impact this type of shift might have on our communities. How do we help plan for the impact seasonal work may have on the process of job searching, on our clients' incomes, and the skills needed to be resilient in the face of job insecurity? Part of any conversation about shifting needs as a result of changes in the labor market is whose role it is to provide this support and how we can coordinate services to do so effectively. These questions and considerations can and should become a part of a much larger community service planning discussion. So you're probably wondering, what should my next steps be? Well, we have a few suggestions. A great first step would be to read the full EmployerOne report, available on worktrends.ca. We've only touched on parts of the report in today's webinar, so it's worth the time to read the full report to find additional information along with explanations about what the data is telling us. Why not talk about the EmployerOne survey results at your next staff meeting? You could look at certain topic areas and discuss the implications for planning your programs and services. Maybe you could assign one staff person to review the report and present specific topics back to the rest of the team for discussion. Look for ways to discuss the EmployerOne survey report with other organizations so you can participate in the development of a comprehensive community response to employer needs. This is such an important piece. We risk draining our resources at a community and provincial level if programs each try to respond to employer needs individually. A better approach is to collaborate as a community to plan how we can respond together, and your local employment planning council wants to help make that happen. The employers have told us what they need. It's up to us as service providers to explore the implications of the EmployerOne survey report with them. Let's work together to increase the capacity of our community and meet employer needs. If you have questions about this webinar, would like data specific to only one county in the London Economic Region, want to participate in future service planning sessions, or want to be notified of future labor market information reports and webinars like this one, please feel free to contact one of the local Employment Planning Council partners shown on your screen. They are the Elgin Middlesex Oxford Workforce Planning and Development Board, available at 519-672-3499, or Tricia at workforcedevelopment.ca, and Literacy Link South Central, available at 519-681-7307, or Literacy Link at belnet.ca. Thank you again for your interest in the 2017 EmployerOne survey results and for joining us for today's webinar.